Hey guys, what's going on? It's your boy Headband J coming back at y'all with another video, and today let's talk about the NBA Finals. So once again, I was wrong. If you guys remember, before the playoffs started, I predicted that the Clippers would win the whole thing. Obviously they did not, but Kawhi did get injured, but conversation for another day. And then after the Clippers were out and the two last teams were the Bucks and the Suns, I said that the Suns would win in 6. And lo and behold, it is the Bucks who have won in 6. That was not what I expected at all. The first 4 games of this series went exactly how I thought it would, with the home teams winning each of their 2 games. But then Milwaukee goes on the road in Game 5 in Phoenix and steals one from them. There was that great play by Jrue Holiday where he stripped Devin Booker and then got it down court and lobbed to Giannis for the and one dunk. He didn't make the free throw, but if you guys remember, he back tapped it to Chris Middleton, and Chris Middleton ended up going 1 of 2 from the line. So that was a shocking Game 5, and I feel like that really took all the wind out of the Suns' sails. I feel like that just deflated the Suns, deflated the home crowd, kind of made Devin Booker and Chris Paul, I wouldn't say it made them less confident because they're very strong mentally they're very strong players, but obviously that's both in the back of their heads. For Chris Paul, it was that Game 4 when he only had 10 points, and then for Devin Booker, it was him getting the ball stolen from him at the end of Game 5. The Suns could have definitely won Game 5, but they fumbled the bag, and the Bucks took advantage of it. Then going into Game 6, I was really expecting Phoenix to come out and win, but the first quarter, Milwaukee goes up by a lot. I think they were up 15 points. The second and third quarters, Phoenix came back and kept it as a very even game, and Bucks were leading up until about the last 8 or 7 minutes, but once the Bucks got like a 9-point lead, they never gave it up, and they end up winning by 7 points, 105-98. It was like the last 4 minutes, you just knew the Suns were not going to win the game. They just had no firepower left, no juice, no spring in their step. So you just knew that Milwaukee was going to bring it home on their home floor. And before I go any further, can we just all give a big shout out to the Milwaukee Bucks fan base? Unbelievable, the turnout. What did they have, like 65,000 people outside of the stadium packed with 17,000 people. Then they had I think it was 65,000 total, so that would mean 40,000 outside, about 17,000, 18,000 inside. It was unbelievable. It was a great turnout. Maybe a super spreader kind of situation for germs, but hey, it looked like a good time to me. I feel like the Bucks just had a little bit more of experience, a little bit more of that playoff toughness. You have to remember, this was the Suns' first time being in the playoffs in 10 years. This was their first time being in the finals in 20 plus years. So imagine that, your first time in the finals in 10 years and you make the finals, and this entire team is young. This whole team is very young, except for Jay Crowder and Chris Paul. I think those are the only 2 vets on the whole roster. And F in the chat for Jay Crowder, who just lost back-to-back NBA finals, by the way. He did play well, however. But I digress. You get the point that I'm trying to make, is that outside of their 2 veterans, Phoenix is a very young team that's never seen the playoffs before. This Bucks group has been together for a while, especially their 2 cornerstones, Giannis and Chris Middleton. And they also had veterans like PJ Tucker, Brook Lopez, Jrue Holiday, as I mentioned before. And this team was just forged from the fire. They have been through it. The team has been through it. The organization has been through it. And when I say been through it, I mean good times, bad times, good playoff wins, bad playoff losses. They've seen it all. Even Giannis at 26, he's had all different kinds of series, all different kinds of experiences. Obviously, he's a 2-time MVP now and a champion. So Giannis has been everywhere in the basketball world at only 26. And same as the rest of his teammates. This was an experienced team. The Phoenix Suns were a really, really good team, very disciplined team. But when it comes down to it, the Bucks were just older in age. They got guys like Bobby Portis, tough as nails. I think that just when it comes down to purely just experience, I feel like Milwaukee had the edge. And with experience comes a little more composure, a little more playoff toughness. And it's not necessarily that they want it more, but it's going to look like they want it more. And when they're feeding off that energy of their home crowd, then any team like that is unstoppable. So a huge congratulations to the Milwaukee Bucks. That's my assessment for where things went wrong for the Suns in the series, it was really that Game 5 that doomed him, and then the rest of their roster just not having enough experience from none of these guys ever being in the playoffs before. You know, this was Devin Booker's first time in the playoffs. He's been around for a minute, right? First time in the playoffs for Devin Booker, but Giannis has been there a couple times, and I think it just showed yesterday. Another thing that's different too is that Giannis was just incredibly dominant, and he went 16 out of 17 from the free throw line. Can we just take a second to appreciate that this guy is like a 60% free throw shooter, 50 on a good night. You know, most of the time he's shooting 50% or below from the free throw line, airballing free throws sometimes, but he went 16 of 17 yesterday. Absolutely outstanding performance by Giannis from the line. Did not expect that. And Giannis is just always making the right play. You know, and for a guy who's a superstar, who doesn't really have a bag, who doesn't really have a lot of moves, he can score with ease. He does have more moves than you would think. I've seen this guy I've seen him do many creative layups and just many creative drop steps and post moves that a lot of other big men don't have. He obviously doesn't move like a big man, even though he's 6'11", 7 foot. You know, he's so strong, but he doesn't have a jump shot like KD, so he's just creative in other ways. So yeah, he doesn't have a bag, but my God, he's the best player in NBA history to have no bag. So amazing performance by Giannis. I was incredibly impressed with him in this series. I think that this is only going to get better. I mean, look at the confidence booster for him. He averaged 32 points per game at 26 years old in the finals, and he completed the mission that Kobe laid out for him. So those are just my general thoughts on the finals and where things went wrong for the Suns and where things went right for the Bucks. Another thing I'll say about the Bucks is that Chris Middleton really stepped up, and he was clutch every single time they needed him to do. I said in my prediction video for the series that Chris Middleton was very important for the Bucks, and I'll give the man credit. He stepped up big time. Big shout out to the Milwaukee Bucks. A huge congratulations to them. First championship in over 50 years. So really great to see a small market team win a championship for once. With all that being said, if you like sports content, make sure to check out my other videos. I post a couple times a week on this channel. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe. It's your boy Headband J, signing off.